Hey guys, it's Cindy over at paper.old.new. Thanks for stopping by and spending some time with me today. I am working on my Tina's Mass Makes. We are on, I'm pretty sure this is day 23. We're making Ruffles. I love the way this one turned out. I might have to get some more of this and make Ruffles. I have some more strips upstairs. But we're making these little hand-sewn Ruffles, and I wasn't sure if I was going to like them because this is a machine sewn ruffle of the same kind where you kind of fold as you go and stitch it on the machine, and it kind of makes it flat, and it was really hard for me to, by the end, I was just kind of bunching it rather than folding it over itself. So these are kind of interesting how they turn out. I like how they turn out. See, they're kind of roughly there and you don't really squish them. And depending on the fabric you use, they can get really, really, puffy and nice. You can have, she said she likes to do clean edges. I've noticed that you can have the torn edges and they seem to work just as well. So if you like that kind of scruffy torn look. I'm going to try and sew a few. This takes me a minute. I am not a seamstress. So this takes me a good bit. So I'm going to see how long it takes me to do one or two. And, we'll go from there. So basically, you decide how big you want your ruffle. So that seems like a good length to me. I keep setting the needle down. I can't pick it up on the surface. What I do is to get started, I kind of put my needle up through here. This is the end. I'm not catching any of the ruffle or anything. I find it easier to stitch a knot than to tie one. So I'm going down right next to it so that I'm on the other side of a couple of threads. It doesn't have to be an actual stitch that you can see. Okay? And then I just go back here and I do like you would at the end, where you kind of circle around and include this piece and catch the fabric. I do another little bitty catch of the fabric, and then I just pull it through and let it kind of tie itself in a knot. This is how I start them. I'm sure that tons of you who actually know how to sew are probably looking at me going, why are you doing that? I'm not, like I said, I'm not a seamstress. And then I might do it one more time. So I make a loop with the thread like that, and then I come in here near where I've been doing all the stitching so that it all kind of comes to the same place. And then I pull it out and I just make sure that all my threads get caught in the loop. So they all get kind of tied in there. That is not caught in the loop. I know you can't tell, but I can tell. It's still not. I'm having trouble because of this loop. And now I've tied a separate knot. This is why seamstresses will probably tell you, see? It's a dumb way to do that. Anyway, so I just get a little knot started. Now, the rest of this is going to be dependent on how big you want your ruffle. Oh, I hate the fact that I'm going to be folding that entire sunflower in there. But so I'm going to fold a ruffle. Like that. Okay. Ow. I just stuck that needle in my finger. That's why you need a thimble. Okay, and then you kind of come up toward the back from the front of the ruffle to kind of pin it. She kind of did it from the back. So you come up through the ruffle like that. Don't pull too hard. You don't want to flatten everything out. And then go down in front of the ruffle on the layer before. I kind of try to lift up. I don't know if you can see that. I kind of try to lift up and go behind or underneath where the ruffle's going to lay. And then I go down from there. Okay. And then you'll pull it taut. And that'll be your first ruffle. All right. And then you fold your next one. Like that. Try to keep them relatively straight. I mean, the best you can. It's, And then you do the same thing. I kind of go in from the front to the back of the ruffle. Like that. Come back. I do want to pull it tight because I want that second one to be tight, but I don't want to curl that necessarily. Okay, and then lift a little bit on here and go down under there. This is kind of like a overcomplicated back stitch, if I'm honest. That's what it looks like to me. Now, not being a seamstress, I could be totally wrong, but that's what this seems like to me. All right, so we're going to come up again. And then down right back there. As I've said on several occasions, I am trying to keep from skipping any days in my messed up schedule that I've done, because I really messed up my schedule. And if I can... Oh, I'm going to have to pick that needle back up again. All right. As you can see, this is a struggle. Anyway. Okay, last ruffle. Torture for this one is almost over. All right, and then again, we're going to lift or kind of go under that ruffle and down. And that pulls that through, and everything's done. So I pull it tight, lay it flat, pull it tight, and then I'm going to do the sewing, stitching, add a couple of stitches in here at the back. Don't catch all your layers. You don't want this to show on the front, but okay. And one more. I just kind of, again, I go through the loop, catch the fabric with the needle, and then pull everything together. Through the... There, pulls everything together. And as you can see, it's catching the... the thread is through the loop. Can you see? I don't know if you can see that or not, but the thread is through the loop, and then I pull it tight. And I stuck the needle through the fabric, so that's tying a knot with the fabric in it. And then there's my little ruffle. Okay, so let's cut that thread off. There's two more I want to make. This was from this square, so if we don't get to that one, I'm okay with it. I want to make this one, and I want to make one of these yellow ones. I've done a green one, so if we can make these two, I'll be pretty happy with that. And I'm going to cut all this mess off at the front. I mean, you don't have to cut any of this off, because when you glue it down, if you catch all that stuff underneath, it won't show. It'll get glued down with your ruffle. So yeah, but there you go. So there's another little ruffle to add to my collection. These are fun to put on pockets, or and Tina will even tell you she doesn't use these when if she was going to go down a page. This wouldn't be the kind of ruffle she would use. This is a really short piece of thread. All right, so I'm going to do my knot thing. This is a lot easier. I was doing it all by hand with no table last night. So it's a lot easier when I've got something to lay everything on. Okay. I think that's not going anywhere, so we'll go ahead and get started. I'm not going to do another one. All right, and then we're going to ruffle it just like we did the big one. I'm going to see if I can make a tiny one. I can't even get it started. Okay. Okay, almost done. Last ruffle. If I want to do this again, if I want to do that yellow one, I'm going to have to rethread my needle. So the other thing is I've only ever done videos. Like my husband said, well, why don't you film some videos when you go shopping for supplies, or, you know, kind of show something other than your crafting. And I was like, I mean, I know people like do videos when they're on vacation and whatnot. I've never actually taken my phone anywhere and shot a video and then tried to edit it. And a lot of people just use the video straight from their phone unedited, but I don't know, I've gotten used to editing them. I guess they go up just fine. Okay, got another one. There we go. That one's cute. It's little. All right, so we're going to try and do this one. I can't tell. That's fuzz. There's fuzz on it. I thought it had a stain on it, in which case it wasn't that I wasn't going to use it. It's just that I was going to be careful about making sure that that got under a ruffle. All right, as you can see, I have hardly any thread left on my needle here. So we're going to take that off, and I did bring a spool of thread down here. Where are we at? Okay. If this doesn't take too long, this isn't taking as long as I thought. I mean, I honestly thought I was gonna take forever doing this because it took me a little while to do the ones I did upstairs. Oh, now I can't see. Okay. All right, so let's go ahead and start. I'm going to start at this end. So this is 23 that I'm filming. I'm going to be filming a bunch today. So if my desk in these next couple of videos looks exactly the same, that's why. Because I'm filming a bunch of videos in a row. And like I said, I'm having tons of fun with these. I've been wanting, I started off the series saying, you know, and it's in my description box, I've been wanting to go through and do these mass makes. And it just seemed like, and I was asking myself, you know, are you going to do them on your channel, or are you just going to do them in the background and do other stuff on your channel? Well, a lot of times I don't have a lot of time to do stuff in the background. Like, I know that sounds weird. So like I have those journals I was working on that you guys saw in Picker Projects before I like totally threw caution to the wind for the holidays and started doing these. And now I haven't been doing Picker Projects or pockets, or I haven't been doing anything other than this because I haven't had time. I've been doing traveling. I've been doing, trying to get my daughter to the point where she can take some time off for the holidays. I haven't had time. I'm not trying to make excuses. I know it sounds like I'm complaining. I'm not. It's just the way it is. I just haven't had time. I'm not going to do that one. I had these little guys over here that I wanted to try to do. I don't know how this one's going to work because it's short. This is a piece from, remember when we were making the fabric paper clips? It's also got paper on it, so we're going to see how that goes. This is a cutoff from one of those fabric samples from the wallpaper book. And the other reason I'm kind of doing a little bit extra with this one as far as sewing more of them than I thought I might is because there's not really a lot of decorating to do. These are decorations. So I think this will be the last one we do. And then I was going to give a kind of idea for using one in a decoration. And we'll use a previous mass make. We'll decorate a previous mass make. Maybe. If I can get this thread to cooperate, because it's not wanting to. Oh my gosh, it's like all. It's all twisted. You know how you get cables sometimes that won't come untwisted because they're. Uh-oh. Well, that's a problem. I think the tying the knots is the longest part. See how it's spinning? The thread's all twisted. All right, let's do this, guys. We can do it. One more. Thread is still twisted. We're going to try and... What? Okay, let's do this. One more. So... if I can keep the thread in the needle, we should be good. This fabric is stiff because it had paper on the back of it. And it's trying really hard not to cooperate with me. So of course that's what I picked for my last one. I mean... everything wouldn't be right with the world if I didn't pick something complicated and difficult. Because as we've discussed in the past, I love to overcomplicate things. Like my life, when I decided the holidays would be a great time for a 100 days project. It's one of those things where I didn't really take into account some of the traveling I was going to be doing. Like I just kind of glossed over it, like it wasn't any big deal. And now time has come. It's like the bill has come due, and not to mention the fact that, as I said in my previous video, I threw myself totally off course because I left my charger at home. I was going to get some of my work done when I was gone on the shopping trip with my daughter. We were going to... because I was going to, we would shop during the day, and then in the evening, come back to the room, and I don't even know what that got caught on. Come back to the room and I was going to work on, you know, editing videos, getting them ready to go, all that sort of thing. But because I didn't take my charger with me, I was behind. When I got home, I was behind. I was more behind than I wanted to be. Okay, so enough of my yammering. As I said, I'm not complaining. I'm just being... Okay. So this was, I thought, really cute to go on here. Now that I put it on there, though, it kind of blends. What if I stuck it over here in the pink? Okay. Like that. And then I was thinking a button. It's a very flowery button. It's not quite big enough. I don't like it when the corners stick out. The button needs to be big enough to meet the corners of the fabric. So it should be wide enough to... Anybody with me on that? Maybe this white one? That's even a little too small. Okay, maybe not any of the ones out here. I don't know if I would do the gold one. It's too small anyway. I mean, it doesn't look horrible. All right, I'm going to get the button box, guys. Here she is. She's got a hammer in there. Not really sure why that's in there. Ooh, but these are too small. As a matter of fact, I know these are too small. I don't actually like them together, so it's okay. All right, what about something like pink? What about something like big pink? Oh, that might be kind of fun. Look at that. Yeah? I can make sure there's nothing in here that strikes my fancy better. Probably not, but doesn't hurt to look, right? Unless I was to find one of these wooden buttons that has a pattern on it that I would be okay with. No. There's gray. Kind of boring, yeah. Okay. So far the pink is our winner. You know, like, so stop and just put the pink down. I know. About that. That's got a flower on it. Very contrasty. I don't know. I like that button. I just don't think I like it there. Okay, I might give in. Just give me one more second. Ooh. Oh no. It's a... Shoot, guys. It's a... I'd have to get that off of there. This one's very shiny. Lots of different colors. And not lavender. It's not the right color. I love these. I think they're snaps. But I love them. And I think I have one. I think this is my last one. Okay, let's put this down. I gotta get this out of my way. Or at least put the lid on it so it doesn't fall. Or if it... Well, anyway. Okay, so what we're going to do... We're going to put hot glue on the back of here. All along the seam. We'll lay that down. And this is right on the flap of the envelope. See? So it's... Oh, it's one I didn't finish. Not that this was part of the show, but since I'm decorating it. Okay, and then I don't know if I should have something coming out the other side of the button. I have this bag of little lacy bits. Let's see if there's something in here I could use. If I can get the bag open. I don't know if I want it to be more green. I mean, I don't hate that, but... Oh, here's pink. That's wide pink. That's wider than my ruffle pink. Let's see if we can find a different pink. Here's a light pink. That might be nice. Okay, guys, here we go. I'm going to go... I'm going to kind of scrunch it, so it's not just boring. Not going to scrunch it too much. First of all, trying to scrunch lace because the hot glue comes through onto your fingers is like really hard because the glue on your fingers fights to pull the lace away from the paper, even though the glue on the paper is holding it down. So it makes it kind of hard to scrunch it. Okay, now. Okay, and then we're going to put this little butt. Well, actually it's not little, is it? I have to make sure that I don't go down below the bottom of the flap too bad. We'll push it down on there and let it cool. And there you go. Isn't that cute? Okay, so that's, you know, using the ruffle on something, I guess, was what I was going for. So we used one of the ruffles we made. So that'll be it for me for today, guys. We are closing the gap. So I will see you tomorrow with, day 24, Tina's week 24. And, I'll talk to you then. Bye-bye.